I wanted to break down some GoPro footage from the Portage Lake LOON100 cross-country snowmobile race. Race I'm going to break down is the Pro Open race, which was the first race of the day on day one of racing. Right off the bat, I spun really bad off the heads-up start and came out last out of the whole shot. This was due to just a really stiff rear end. During testing, we were playing around with a stiff rear end to just help support me in cornering. Didn't do very well in helping me on starts, and it also made the sled a bit darty, slowing down going into corners. This clip, you can hear and see how tippy the sled is. You can see me fighting with the throttle and steering to get the back end to break loose. Being on and off the throttle just loses a lot of momentum and speed that I could be carrying through that corner wide open. And then having that sled lay flat and then being able to just break the rear end loose and kind of find a nice drifting point while under full acceleration. You can just carry more momentum, and I really struggled with that here. These next two corners that I'm going to break down are prime examples of taking a slow apex, an apex line choice that Formula One car drivers take for maximum acceleration out of corners. It's obviously different in snowmobiling because you can pitch the sled sideways, but it's the same concept or same idea of line choice. Approach a corner with control and then be able to exit as fast as possible. Here you can see that I kind of round the corner and I'm on and off the throttle and again, still fighting with my setup. Having that limiter strap out a little too much was just making the sled balance or tip a little bit more on the center point of the sled. Or if I had the limiter strap pulled up, which I do for the remainder of the race weekend, I'm able to have the skis a little bit more planted and I felt a lot more stable on the sled. There were two sections of the track that were my absolute favorite due to the fact that I was building confidence throughout the weekend of trying to hold the sled wide open and then trusting my setup. Here you will see and hear me coming on and off the throttle and still trying to fight the tippiness of the sled to get through the corner. Here was the fastest section of the track, in my opinion. I was consistently seeing around 103 miles per hour on average. I might have been going a tiny bit faster, a tiny bit slower, but there's just a subtle turn, but mainly a straightaway for what felt like a mile. I mean, it went by pretty quick, but it was really fun. Holding the throttle wide open, having just a slight turn that you could hang off the sled. Kind of the reason why I love racing is parts of of tracks like this, where you really can open the sled up, go as fast as you can across the lake, really enjoy the high speed action of snowmobile racing. You'll also notice on the far corners of the screen how wide the track is. Scott Preston of NEXC helped Buddy Collins, who was the promoter of this race, really set up a nice wide track just to limit one line from forming. Having wide tracks like this one really encourages new racers to show up because they have the confidence of wherever they are on the track, They're not going to get run over, or they can just safely and confidently navigate around the track. I paused right here because this marker gave a lot of people some trouble. It almost gave me some trouble right here, almost going outside of it. To the right is not the track, to the left is on the track. The rule with NEXC is if you hit or miss a marker, you come to a full stop outside of the track and then safely re-enter the track and you can keep racing. This corner here is the second favorite part of the track that I had mentioned. During the sight lap and hot lap, I immediately picked out a really good line on this section. A lot of people were staying really in tight to the right, but there was a really fast right-hander that's coming up here, and you'll see in a second, where I was going really wide left and then holding it wide open and just subtly turning and apexing right past the cone. It allowed me to stay on the throttle. I wasn't turning too sharp and scrub a ton of speed. I was subtly turning, and then it also set me up really nicely for the next corner. This last corner was a confidence corner. You're coming into the finish line, chicanes, and this left it's a big sweeping left for those who have a really good setup, trust their sled, and can really dive into corners, will carry a ton of speed through this. At the end of the day, of day one of racing, and then also the end of the day on day two of racing, I really got confident in diving into this corner, pushing the sled through, finding that race apex of not just rounding through the corner, but really trying to exit with a ton of speed. Thanks for watching. I really like going over race footage of mine. So this adds a little bit more of context to what you're seeing in GoPro footage of mine. If you like these types of videos, I'll keep doing them. Just let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.